that the idea of a makom kavua, that you have a place in shul, a place to daven. Avram Avinu teaches us kviyas, the concept of going back, the same place, ritualizing. You go back, because you go to the rock. You continue to have that relationship, even when God says no. God will say yes sometimes. God will say maybe sometimes. God will say no. What is our responsibility? The relationship. The relationship. Not just showing up the next morning to daven the exact words of the siddur. You're allowed to question, but you're also in a situation in which God wants that relationship, and we should want it from God. So when we talk about this nourishing and nurturing children's neshamot, we need to recognize diversity, as we said, and choice. We need to recognize that we can control, or at least control our own behavior, and have conversations with our children, discussions with our children, meaningful ones, around God. We need to give permission to children to ask questions. Be skeptical, not cynical. We need to highlight what true role models are, those who work hard to become who they are. And we have to acknowledge that tefillah is hard. And we have to build a relationship with our children so that they never miss a day. They follow the Avram Avinu approach. That we don't miss a day to have the conversation with our children about God, and they don't miss a day to be able to engage with God as well. I want to finish with one quick story. I was fortunate enough in my lifetime to know 4 great-grandparents. And I know them. One died when I was 9, one when I was 11, one when I was 16, and one when I was 21. Great-grandparents. I was really fortunate. Also learned a lot about death growing up. I was very fortunate to have this. My great-grandfather, who died when I was 16, died on a Shabbos. The Wednesday before, I woke up and I just had a pit in my stomach. And I wanted to go visit him. Just I felt something. And I told my mother I don't want to go to school that day. I want to go visit Zadie. My mother obliged, and we went to the hospital, where he was in hospital bed. And we went to visit Zadie. He did something he never did before. An absolutely remarkable thing. He invited my mother to leave the room. He asked her to leave. And he called me over, and he asked me to open the drawer and take out his tefillin and help him put on his tefillin. And I did, and I watched him daven. A man at the end of his life, begging for mercy. A man at the end of his life, praying for his family, praying for me. And I watched him. That was remarkable. At the end of the davening, he asked me to put away, phone unwrapped, phone put away. I did, I obliged, as I always did with my Zadie. And then I went to open the drawer next to his bed to put away the phone. And he grabbed my arm. And he said, no. He said, Scott, I can't control my body anymore. That was the last time I'm wearing my tefillin. He said, I never missed a day with this tefillin. And the same exact set of tefillin my grandfather wore, and he never missed a day. And his grandfather never missed a day with this exact set of tefillin. They're yours now. Never miss a day. Never miss a day. We have the responsibility with our children to have that kind of relationship. To make sure that we never miss those days. The days to have the conversations, the days to give them permission to question, the days for ourselves to role model for them, and the days where we're going to recognize that God said no, and we're going to have those conversations with our kids too. We have control over our behavior. We can choose to be aloof, or we can choose to engage. If we engage, our children will engage.